Hey guys, Michael from Fire and Brilliance, and if you haven't noticed, I'm off my sling, but my arm range, it's still, I still got to work on it. But anyway, today's episode is super exciting, okay? So we just released a new cushion cut recently, the first crushed, even-sided crushed ice moissanite by Fire and Brilliance. It's been very, very, very popular. So I wanted to make sure that we went over a comparison video between the first crushed, even-sided moissanite by Fire and Brilliance versus the FAB traditional Brilliant Cut cushion cut by Fire and Brilliance. Okay, so right before getting into it for you, definitely subscribe to our channel. Okay, so you've been following our content. If you like what we're doing, if you want to share it, if you are in the market to buy some jewelry, if you're just a hobbyist, or if you know someone that's interested or someone that's in the market that needs to learn more, definitely share our channel, support the cause, because we're here to, creating the cause, and we're here to do it just for you. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to get right into it for you. Alright guys, so again this episode is about our cushion cuts, the FAB cushion cuts. So you all may know we do have many types, but today specifically we'll be going over a first crush ice, even-sided moissanite, okay, versus the FAB Brilliant Cut, or the traditional Brilliant Cut moissanite. Both of these are 10 millimeters, or in other words, they're about 5 carats of diamond equivalent weight. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out. I'll go ahead and take it out so that you will not see which ones I'm taking out, and I'll let you kind of figure out for yourself, or in other words, I'll let you guess which one is the first crush version and which one is the Brilliant Cut. Okay, so definitely leave a comment below if you knew ahead of time before watching further. So again, both of these are cushion cuts, 10 millimeters, about 5 carats, diamond equivalent weight. Okay, one is a first crush ice by Fire and Brilliance, and the other one's a traditional Brilliant Cut. Okay, so which one is the first crush? I'll give you another 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Alright, so if you guess the one on your right hand side is the first crush, then you're absolutely correct. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and explain to you why. Alright, so I'll go ahead and do it one by one here. Let me set the stones down. Might be better with my hands, these stones are so large. There you go. Okay, so let me start with the Brilliant Cut, which is something that you're probably more familiar with. Okay, so the Brilliant Cut, here's how it looks. Alright, so this is the Cushion Brilliant Cut FAB Moissanite by Fire and Brilliance, and this is how a typical or most Brilliant Cuts will be cut, regardless if it's moissanite, diamond, or what have you. Okay, so in other words, what is a cushion cut? Okay, a cushion cut it's a marriage between a round cut and a square cut. All right, so it's slightly rounded around the edges, but not exactly, and it's slightly squarish around the edges, but not exactly. So it's very pillow-like. Okay, it's softer around the edges, even though it has a squarish look. It's very soft around the edges. Okay, so it's very pillow-like. The crown is raised a bit. Okay, and then when you turn it around, obviously at the bottom section between the girdle, okay, the girdle will separate the pavilion and the crown. There's obviously a Q-lip. Okay, so that's a Brilliant Cut. So what is a Brilliant Cut again? Just a refresher. A Brilliant Cut is cut. A more of a modern cut to maximize a gemstone's fire and brilliance. So in other words, to maximize the sparkle. Why do people buy gemstones? Why do people wear jewelry? Why do people buy moissanite, buy diamonds, buy rubies, buy sapphires? Because they love the sparkle, they like the shine, they like the bling, right? So a Brilliant Cut, if you are into the reds, blues, greens, a Brilliant Cut would definitely maximize the fire and the sparkle, and at the same time it will also maximize the brilliance. So in other words, it just maximizes the overall appearance. Okay, so that's what the purpose of a Brilliant Cut is. And how is that done? It's done through specific types of facets. Okay, so what you see inside of a stone when it reflects back into your eyes is all dependent on the cut. So the facet placement okay, as well as the depth, width, and so on, will definitely showcase a specific type of light reflection, which will maximize that look. Okay, so a brilliant cut has specific facet placement so that you can see specific shapes when you look into the stone. All right, so that's the brilliant cut. Now, if we are going to compare it with the crushed ice, okay, so what is a crushed ice? Well, first of all, both of these are, again, cushion cuts. So as you can see here, both of these have softer edges around the sides. It's a marriage, again, between a round cut and a square cut. It's not exactly a square, but it's not exactly a round. It's a squarish, but softer around the edges. It's rounded around the edges, so it's very pillow-like. Okay, so with the crushed ice, the crown is definitely slightly higher than that of a brilliant cut. Okay, so it has a slightly higher crown. But then at the same time, if you were to turn it over, the pavilion, okay, so all of that whole area right in between the girdle that separates the pavilion and the crown, it's a slightly deeper as well. Okay, so with a obviously a culet. Okay, so what separates a crushed ice, first crushed ice moissanite with a regular brilliant cut? Well, as you can see here, they look completely different. Okay, so the brilliant cut, you'll see that if you look into it, there are lines that looks like splinters, if you will, that meets at a center point and extracts outwards, right? So more like a sun ray. Okay, so that's typically what you'll see in a brilliant cut. Not all brilliant cuts, but many brilliant cuts, that's what you'll see. All right, so a crushed ice is much busier. And how is this done? Okay, so if you take a look at the crushed ice, that's exactly what it looks like. Have you ever seen an ice cube and you crush it together, or some crushed ice? That's exactly what it looks like. If you are into that very icy look, overall look and feel, if you're into a busier look, if you are into a look where the light reflections are shining all over the place, then the crushed ice might be the gem that you're looking for. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of this. Now, how is this light reflection process done? Okay. When you're looking into a gemstone, the way light is reflected back into your eyes are dependent on multiple things, specifically the cuts and the facet placements. Okay, so the facet placements for the crushed ice, there are many specific parameters and many specific areas where the gemstone has to be faceted on top of the crown as well as at the bottom of the pavilion. Okay, so you notice here there's a bunch of facets at the bottom of the pavilion. Okay, so what is a facet? Okay, so let me go ahead and go over that too. A facet are all of these different surface areas. Each one of these different surface areas that you see here, that's separated by the next surface area, that's separated by the next surface area, so that's called a facet. Okay, there are multiple facets placed at the bottom of the pavilion as well as multiple facets placed on the top of the pavilion, so that when light enters the gemstone and it reflects outwards, it's reflecting out into multiple mirrors, if you will, or multiple windows, if you will, okay, to give it that overall crushed ice look and feel. Okay, so with that being said, we are very proud to say that we are the first company to release a first crush, even-sided crushed ice moissanite by Fire and Brilliance. Okay, so again, we are the first company to release a first crush cushion, okay, crushed ice, even-sided moissanite, which is absolutely stunning. So this is actually done through a lot of trial and error, and we've worked with our cutters and all of these companies that we work with, from moissanite cutters to diamond cutters, and we were able to come up with this cut. And if you are to, I try to be as objective as possible, and I try to be as unbiased as possible. But if you want to know my subjective view, and I rarely do this, and I'm doing this only because it's very rare that I see a moissanite that come across my table that's where I will take a look at it and say this is extremely diamond-like. A first crush ice moissanite here, the cushion version, the even-sided version, looks very, very, very diamond-like. Okay, in terms of the way it sparkles, in terms of the way it reflects light. Obviously, it's not a diamond. Okay, so I say this all the time. I want to make sure I disclose this every single time. That moissanite is not a diamond. It's normally used as a diamond alternative because of its optical properties, because of its durability, and because of of how beautiful it is and how similar it looks like in terms of its optical properties next to a diamond. So it's very diamond-like. It's not a diamond. So if you're looking for a beautiful diamond alternative, then both of these options are very diamond-like. But you know, obviously the first crushed ice moissanite looks very, very, very similar to a crushed ice diamond. Okay, so if you ever had a chance to see a crushed ice diamond, this first crushed moissanite looks very, very close to that. Okay, so with that being said, both of these again are 10 millimeters. In other words, 10 millimeters going the length, as well as 10 millimeters with the width. Okay, it's about a 5 carat diamond equivalent weight. Okay, both are cushion cuts. Both are made here at Fire and Brilliance. The only difference here is this is a traditional brilliant cut. This one is a crushed ice moissanite. Our line is called the First Crush. Okay, so it's absolutely stunning. It's extremely popular, and if you are in the market and if you are a cushion lover, then hopefully this video brought some value to you. Okay, so this is definitely the optical properties. I'll spin it around a few more times so that you can see the sparkle. And then again, you know, leave a comment below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to know more about these cuts, definitely let us know what you want to know by leaving a comment below, or even you know, just hitting the website and contacting us directly, and we'll be sure to help you out. So I hope you guys really like what you saw there. You know, again, we try to stay as unbiased as possible here at Fire and Brilliance, especially for this Geminar, because the purpose of it is to really provide you with the educational pieces that you may need before going out there and shop for an engagement ring or a loose diamond or a loose moissanite, so that you can purchase it for the event that you want in your life, right? So we try to stay unbiased as possible, but you know, I do have to let you know that this first crush ice by Fire and Brilliance is definitely one of the most diamond-like gemstones that I've ever come across in terms of moissanite. So that's just my take on it. You could take what you will for my opinion, but that's my subjective viewpoint. Okay, so with that being said, you know, definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. You know, let us know what you like, let us know what you don't like. Leave a comment below. You know, suggest something. You know, what do you want to see from us? What do you want us to present? What do you want us to present in the FAB Geminar? We are always here with open eyes and open ears, here to create the love, create more content, and at the same time share the knowledge, share the love for all of our viewers. All right, so thanks again for all of your support, and definitely, if you haven't already, we are on a podcast now on SoundCloud, so check us out. It's the Spilling the Tea with FMB. All right, so I'm signing out. Thank you.